Like the sirens on the police car or the ambulances. We should have had thousands of those going off all at once when all this started to happen, but we didn't. Now, it's partly because maybe we are naive and we didn't think that maybe the world would go this totally insane. And the fact that there are people out there to this day still believe that somehow men should have every single right to go into a woman's toilets or a woman's bathroom. However, the majority of the country, the majority of the West, are not insane. We know we're not insane. So we should have done something about it. It shouldn't take 3 or 4 Scottish women to go to the Supreme Court to just prove to the world that a woman is a human adult female. That should never have happened. In a million years, that should never have happened. But the fact that these women had to do it to prove to a government or governments that women are women and men are men and neither can actually be the same.
We were in a really difficult place in Scotland then. We thought we were going to see rights for women rolled back, and today the judges have said what we always believed to be the case, that women are protected by their biological sex, that sex is real, and that women can now feel safe, that services and spaces designated for women are for women, and we are enormously grateful to the Supreme Court for this ruling.
Now, anyone with an ounce of intelligence would understand that the definition of a woman, which is a human adult female, makes complete sense. Biologically, DNA, any whatever any, it makes complete sense, right? However, Labour politicians get together on a WhatsApp group, and the likes of Chris Bryant, who I can't stand. Look, I've got to be honest with you, I can't stand the man. I think he's a creep. I honestly, I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. Got to be honest, I wouldn't. I wouldn't hurt him, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't do anything like that to him. However, wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. He's one nasty piece of shit, this man. However, here we go. Chris Bryant, part of a controversial WhatsApp group of a leading Labour figures after Supreme Court ruling on definition of a woman. He has an issue with the definition of a woman. 50% of the population of Britain. Are you listening now? You women that vote for the Labour Party time and time again, are you listening and watching? This man has an issue of what you are. Your DNA, your whole makeup, your everything to do with you being a woman, your struggles of being a woman. This man has an issue with the Labour Party. The Labour Party are the ones that have the issue with you defining exactly what a woman is.
Women are women.
So the Equality Act does allow provision. So if you start from the position that the Equality Act allows a single-sex exemption, which allows certain activities, for instance, to be only participated in or taken, or for only women to be part of that, it assumes rightly that trans women are included in that.
Well, they're not.
But then allows specific exemptions, and that is a provision within the Equality Act. As I say, this is
so you do accept that trans women aren't women then?
No, I said trans women are women.
We know that there's been 2 genders and 2 sexes for the last 2,000 years, right? You know, biology and all that sort of jazz. However, now that the Supreme Court has basically told the truth in reference to an adult human female, somehow there's an issue with society.
Like, the Equalities Watchdog says basically organisations may have to provide neutral third spaces. I've never seen a country lose its whatever we can't say at this time in the morning over something so obvious. I mean, you must have been, like many women, delighted that the Supreme Court finally said, you know, a woman's a woman, she was born a woman, that's it, the end. But of course, that's not the end, because all of these ridiculous groups are saying, oh, but, you know, what are we going to do to get around it?
Yes, it's so difficult to be able to ascertain whether a woman is a woman by her clear lack of a penis. Look, I'm actually more bemused than anything. Of course, I am happy that this didn't go down the lunatic route of trying to say that anyone that identified as whatever gender they fancied was of that gender and should be treated as such. However, the law didn't actually make anything up. It just showed the cowardice over the last 15 years of people and organizations that have been bullied into manipulating the law into something that simply isn't. The Equality Act didn't somehow conjure up women that are actually men. It didn't make something that isn't. The ruling just said, this is the law, this has always been the law, and it is very clear. And actually, what people need to recognize is this is almost quite freeing for trans people, because what the Equality Act was saying is you don't need to have to pretend to be a woman or a man.
Yeah.
You are valid in your own right, in your own trans identity, and you cannot be discriminated against on that basis. And so it's just basically shown the cowardice of these organizations that said, actually, no, the Equality Act said something that actually it didn't say, and to suit me. And really, all the women that have been labeled TERFs and that have been abused by these organizations deserve big apologies. All of these organizations need to eat a big slice of humble pie. All these actors in Hollywood, those sheep-like lemmings from the cast of Harry Potter that decided to basically disown J.K. Rowling for her atrocious views that a woman doesn't have a penis. They all need to be lining up to give apologies, because it has been a horrible 15 years to the extent that it's almost unimaginable. And these organizations that are looking to the equality watchdog and saying, oh, we're finding it so difficult to balance these rights, the NHS being one of them, it's not difficult at all. It's actually not. It's as simple as they come. There is no difficulty here. If you need to create a third space, go right ahead. If sports organizations need to create a women's category and then an open category, go right ahead.
Yeah.
But it is as simple and as clear as day. And thankfully, this madness is going to be put to an end.
But
This lady here, Esther Krakow, she is basically the majority. The likes of the people that say that a woman's a man and a man's a woman, they're the minority. You got to understand that. It's very, very straightforward. So the sanity is on our side, so we can change everything. Now, this Supreme Court situation has helped. Don't get me wrong, it has helped, but it's not resolved the situation in reference to being woke and trying to change everything that's good in our societies. So we all need to stand up, and that includes me. I need to call this out more often. So I will be doing more videos like this. So please subscribe and thumbs up if you can, and also comment below. But we do need to talk more. We do need to spread the word more. We do need to shout out more when you see things going wrong in our society. And this is definitely one of them. Until the next time, guys, have a good day. Speak to you soon. All the best.